For decades, the Bermuda Triangle has haunted the imagination of sailors, pilots, and ordinary people alike, spanning a mysterious stretch of ocean between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. This region has become synonymous with strange disappearances, unexplainable phenomena, and stories that straddle the fine line between science and legend. Among the most famous of these is the vanishing of Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared on December 5, 1945. What was meant to be a routine training mission turned into one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. Scholars, aviation experts, and paranormal enthusiasts are once again revisiting old reports, logs, and testimonies, searching for new clues. With every breakthrough, however, new questions arise, leaving the Bermuda Triangle shrouded in an aura of perpetual uncertainty. Did Flight 19 vanish into a rift in time and space? Did they fall prey to human error? Or did nature unleash one of its deadliest tempests? Let's take a deep dive into this captivating mystery. What happened on December 5, 1945? On a seemingly ordinary day in December 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers took off from the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, kicking off what was supposed to be a routine training mission over the Bahamas. The air was calm, the skies were clear, and the pilots of Flight 19 were in high spirits as they headed out over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. Among them was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, a seasoned pilot with a reputation for his cool head and sharp instincts. Leading a team of 14 men, they were joined by 4 other Avengers, each carrying 3 crew members, pilots, navigators, and radio operators. Their mission: conduct some bombing practice over the Bahamas before returning to base later that evening. As the planes soared through the air, their radios crackled with chatter, relaying navigation details and playful banter. All seemed to be going well until the moment they reached their target and began their bombing run. It was during this phase of the mission that the first hints of trouble began to surface. Upon reaching the Bahamas, Taylor reported sighting 7 small islands that appeared to be aligned in a row. However, when he attempted to drop practice bombs on the Mark I buoy, which should have been positioned between these islands, his bombs landed well short of the target. This discrepancy puzzled the pilots, suggesting that either their navigational instruments were malfunctioning or their position was inaccurate. Taylor contacted the base to report the issue, requesting updated coordinates for the target. But as the hours passed and the pilots continued their training exercises, a sense of unease began to settle over the group. Lieutenant Junior Grade James G. Sobiewski, the navigator of Taylor's plane, noticed that the ocean below them didn't match any of the charts they had studied. Concerned, he alerted Taylor, who responded by checking his instruments and confirming that their location was indeed incorrect. As the sun began its descent and shadows stretched across the darkening ocean, the pilots realized they were facing a critical problem. They were lost and their fuel was dwindling. Fear started to creep in as they tried desperately to contact the base for help. But the more they struggled to find their way back, the stranger things became. Their compasses spun wildly, offering no guidance. Unfamiliar landmarks stretched out beneath them and a thick fog descended, shrouding them in an eerie silence. By 7:46 p.m., the pilots had managed to reach Taylor. He repeated his earlier message, expressing confusion about their instruments and the unfamiliarity of the terrain below them. The base tried to guide him using triangulated radio bearings, but the transmissions were faint and difficult to interpret. At 8:30 p.m., Taylor reported his plane had lost altitude and he believed his instruments were broken. He asked permission to divert to a nearby island, but the base instructed him to stay over the water in an attempt to locate him. As darkness fell, the pilots struggled to maintain their composure. By 9:30, Taylor's voice grew frantic as he mentioned fuel and warned of an imminent crash. The final transmission came moments later, with Taylor reporting an inability to see the other planes and asking for guidance. After that, silence. None of the planes from Flight 19 returned to the base that evening. A search plane sent out to locate them also vanished without a trace. The disappearance of Flight 19 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. Theories and investigations. There are many theories surrounding the disappearance of Flight 19, ranging from the plausible to the more fantastical. Many experts believe that a combination of factors contributed to the tragedy. One theory suggests that the pilots of Flight 19 made a navigational error, believing that the islands they saw were the Lucayan archipelago in the Bahamas, when in fact they were the Florida Keys. If this is true, it would explain why the planes flew further south than expected and why the pilots reported unfamiliar terrain. Weather conditions may have also played a role in the disaster. The pilots encountered a sudden shift in weather, including thunderstorms and disorienting fog, which could have contributed to their confusion. Additionally, the strong Gulf Stream current could have quickly carried the planes away from their intended path. However, there are also more outlandish theories. Some believe that the planes entered a wormhole or a tear in the spacetime continuum, never to be seen again. Others speculate that the planes were abducted by extraterrestrials, or that they encountered a magnetic anomaly that caused them to crash. In recent years, fresh investigations have been conducted using modern technology and data. Researchers have analyzed satellite weather data and compared it to archived reports, shedding light on the weather conditions the pilots faced. One theory proposes that if Taylor had mistakenly identified the Bahamas as the Florida Keys, the planes could have flown approximately 100 miles farther south. This distance, coupled with the Gulf Stream's speed, could have resulted in the planes flying out of fuel before reaching land. Despite these theories, no physical evidence of the planes has ever been recovered. Sonar mapping of the ocean floor suggests that such large aircraft should have been located by now. This absence of evidence fuels speculation about alternative explanations, including the possibility that the planes crossed into another dimension where they remained trapped. Eyewitness accounts, whispers from the edge adding to the mystery. Some radio operators claim to hear strange static and garbled voices long after the squadron was presumed lost. These transmissions, though difficult to verify, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the unknown. Fishermen in the area reported seeing unusual lights in the sky on the night of the disappearance, while others spoke of glowing clouds or whirlpools forming over the sea. These accounts, often dismissed as exaggerations or misremembered details, persist because they align eerily with other Bermuda Triangle tales. Together, these eyewitness stories paint a picture of a turbulent sky, strange atmospheric phenomena, and eerie communications from beyond the grave, leaving us to wonder if there is more to the Bermuda Triangle than meets the eye. The enduring legacy of Flight 19, the disappearance of Flight 19, has captured the public imagination and inspired countless works of fiction, films, and documentaries. The image of ghost planes eternally circling over the dark ocean, or skeletal passengers frozen in mid-flight, has become a haunting symbol of the Bermuda Triangle's allure. This fascination stems from our primal fear of being trapped between life and death, wandering endlessly in a state of limbo. The mystery of Flight 19 encapsulates this fear perfectly, leaving us to contemplate the possibility of such an existence. As we continue to explore the depths of the Bermuda Triangle, the story of Flight 19 serves as a reminder of the fragility of human life and the limitations of our understanding. It urges us to confront our fears and grapple with the unsettling truth that sometimes there are forces beyond our comprehension. The quest to solve the puzzle of Flight 19 compels us to look beyond the surface and consider the unseen forces that shape our world. It pushes us to question our assumptions and embrace the unknown. Why does Flight 19 still matter? The enduring mystery of Flight 19 resonates with us today because it embodies the complexities of our relationship with the unknown. In an age where technology offers us unparalleled knowledge, there are still places like the Bermuda Triangle where uncertainty reigns. Flight 19 personifies this uncertainty, reminding us that despite our scientific advancements, there are limits to our understanding of the universe. The disappearance of Flight 19 matters because it challenges our perception of reality and forces us to confront the boundaries of our knowledge. It serves as a reminder that there are still mysteries in our world that defy explanation. Moreover, the story of Flight 19 speaks to our innate curiosity about the paranormal and the supernatural. The Bermuda Triangle, with its tales of strange occurrences and unexplained phenomena, has become synonymous with the realm of the unknown, and Flight 19 stands as a prominent example of the perplexing mysteries that continue to baffle scientists and enthusiasts alike. The enduring legacy of Flight 19 lies in its ability to capture our imagination and inspire awe and wonder in the face of the unknown. It reminds us that there are still realms of our world that are beyond our understanding, and that the universe holds secrets that may never be fully revealed. In conclusion, the disappearance of Flight 19 remains one of the most compelling mysteries of the 20th century. As we continue to seek answers, we must embrace the ambiguity that surrounds this enigmatic event. Whether the truth lies in human error, natural phenomena, or forces beyond our comprehension, the story of Flight 19 compels us to look beyond the surface and confront the mysteries that lie at the edge of our understanding. So as we gaze out at the endless expanse of the Bermuda Triangle, let us remember the lessons of Flight 19 and marvel at the enigma that continues to captivate us.